Okay, good morning friends. My voice is coming clear?
Yes,
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 sir.
sir.
Okay. So, in today's lecture, I am going to explain determinants of supply. So, first of all, we know what is meant by determinants and what is meant by supply. If you know all the things about supply, determinants, then definitely you realize. In these topics, I have already told about supply. Supply means the total amount of goods they are available for selling at a seller place. That means supply. So what is the determinant? What is mean by determinant? So determinant is element. When we think about the supply, then there are lots of determinants. So there are lots of elements. So all these elements I am going to explain in my today's lecture. So there is the first element, that means price of commodity. That means price of commodity. When we think about the price of commodity, means if in the market the price of commodity is very high. Price of market in the market there are big price of any commodity as like Apple mobile, as like gold, as like diamond, as like etc. Means when we think about any commodity, if a rate of commodity is high, lots of people demanded that commodity. Means price and supply. What is the connection between price and supply? So that data, if you think, if in the market there are limited gold, means limited diamond, means price of diamond, price of gold is always high. So because of that supply is very high. Means when we think about any commodity, when we think about the onion, when a price of onion is high, that time lots of people demanded that quantity. What is the connection between supply and price? So price of commodity, price is an important factor influencing the supply of a commodity. Price is important factor. What is the connection between price and commodity? Yes, Tanmay, my voice is coming, Tanmay.
Yes, sir.
So what is the connection between price and commodity? Yes, Tanmay. Do you understand that point? Remember, if we think about the gold, the price of 1 gram gold, 1 gram gold is 5,000 and 6,000. Means supply is very high because lots of people demanded gold. Means if price is high, lots of people demanded. Determinants of supply means impact on supply. When we think about any commodity, anything, that time if more quantity are supply at a higher price, remember higher price, Apple mobile cost is always high, so because of that lots of people want to require Apple mobile. Because of that lots of people want to require Apple mobile. That is the point. Means when we think about the Apple mobile, in the market there are lots of Apple mobile because demand of Apple mobiles is always high. Means more quantity are supplied at higher price and less quantity are supplied at a lower price. Means if a mobile price is less, no anyone purchase a mobile. That is the important point. Yes, Sarthak, my voice is coming. Sarthak, are you here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what is the connection of price and supply? Sarthak, have you any idea about price and supply?
Higher price and less quantity supply or lower price than relation between two price quality.
Okay. Yes, number 15. Sakshi, my voice is coming.
yes, sir.
Do you understand that point? Price and supply?
No,
You,
sir.
okay. Number 27. My voice is coming clear.
Yes, sir.
So what is the connection of supply and price? Remember, if in your home there are lots of onion. If price is high, lots of people require that onion. That means supply is high. If price is high, supply is high. But if price is less, that time no any person demanded that onion. So supply means total commodity available for sale and seller demanded that commodity. That means supply. Means when we think about the supply, the exact meaning of supply. When we think about the supply, there are simple definition. Total amount of goods or services. Total amount of goods or services available for sale at a specific price is known as supply. Total amount of goods or services. Total amount of goods or services means when we think about onion, that time if the rate of onion is always high, means lots of people demanded that onion, means high price more quantity are supplied, high price more quantity are supplied and less price less quantity are supplied, means direct relationship price and quantity. Price is high, quantity demanded more and more, but price is less, quantity demanded less. Remember, demand is different and quantity demanded is different. Supply means that commodity required by person, means that commodity required by seller, that means supply, and demand means that commodity required by consumer. Remember, if any commodity required by consumer, that's we have to call demand, and if any commodity required by supplier, that's we have to call supplier, seller. That is the simple thing. Yes, Bangar, my voice is coming. Number first.
Yes, sir.
Okay, do you understand that point? Price of commodity.
Yes.
Can you explain? Yes, Sally, say now.
Then price is high, demand is
Okay, Omkar, my voice is coming, Omkar.
Yes,
Do you understand that point?
yes,
Okay, can you explain?
yes.
Okay, explain now.
More quantity are supplied at a higher price,
Okay,
uh, and less quantity are supplied at a lower price.
okay, okay. So that is our first point. Our second point, state of technology. When we read second point, it's very simple. Technological improvement reduce the cost of production, which leads to an increase in production and supply. Technology. How we call technology? What is the exact meaning of technology? Yes, number 17. Okay, Pratik, my voice is coming. Pratik Pokarkar.
Yes, sir.
What is the meaning of technology?
Techno.
Lots of time we use that word technology. What is the meaning of technology? Have you any idea, Pratik, about technology? Yes, who is going to explain? Technology. If you know technology, then definitely you realize state of technology. What is the connection of technology and supply? Means earlier days we had no any technology, because of that we were using lots of human beings, lots of workers, lots of peoples, but now we are using advanced technology because of globalization, liberalization and privatization. Means we improve our procedure, we improve our daily routine, we improve our work. So remember, technology means support to improve their production, support to increase their production, means reduce the cost of production. Earlier we had to require 100 worker, but now because of technology we must require at least 10 or 20 worker. Means remember, because of technology production will be raised and reduce the cost of production, which leads to an increase in production and supply. When we think about the before some 10 years ago, 15 years ago, that time in India there were no advanced technology. Because of that lots of people working in the factory, but now because of technology only limited people working in the factory and they are producing more and more production. So remember, because of that connection of technology and supply, because of technology we develop anything, we develop some tools, we develop some our working procedure, and when we develop our working procedure means this is impactable on reduce the cost of production, which leads to an increase in production and supply. Means production is high, supply is high. Remember, if our atmosphere is good, definitely our food will be increased day by day. If our atmosphere is not good, is not favorable for our food, for our growing crops, that time this thing is not good. Means because of technology we are farming something in our farm, then we increase our production. So remember, that is the second point. Then third point, cost of production. When we think about the cost of production, if a factor price increases, the cost of production also increases. As a result, supply decreases. So remember, what is meant by factor? Factor means element. When we are producing anything, that time we must require some factor, as like labor, as like house, as like rent, as like production. These are our factors. So if factor price is increase, worker is also our factor. If we are using more and more worker, if we are using more and more worker, means we increase our cost of production, that time supply is also decreased. But if we think production cost will be decreased, that time supply also increase. So connection of supply and connection of cost of production. So when we think about the cost of production, that time we think about some factors. So factor price increases, the cost of production also increases. As a result, supply decreases. In price, a commodity cost will high. Remember, commodity cost is high, that time commodity supply more and more. But if commodity cost is very high, that time commodity supply limited. Means first point is little different from third point. Third point related to factor cost and first point related to total cost. What is the difference? Total cost means when we finished any product, then we show some price. That's what we call finished cost. But factor cost means when we are producing anything, that time we charge every point some cost. That means factor cost. That is the third one. Then number 4, infrastructure facility. Infrastructure. What is meant by infrastructures? Which one explain the meaning of infrastructure? 9 number, Sakshi, Erunde, my voice is coming, Sakshi.
हो सर.
Okay, what is the meaning of infrastructure?
The basic physical organizational structure of facility is called as infrastructure.
Okay. So remember, infrastructure means when we think about any commodity, when we think about our college, when we think about student, there are some infrastructure such as bench, such as pen, such as a pencil, such as a book. These are an infrastructure to that child. Infrastructure is the form of transport, communication, power, etc. Remember, infrastructure. Our college building, our college area. These are an infrastructure. Means when we think about any projector, any blackboard, any green board, these are an infrastructure. Means commodity, instrument. That instrument is good for that. If early morning, if I get up early morning, if I have no any infrastructure for going to school, I have no any infrastructure for going to school, that time we are not using, we are not going with the proper way. We are not going with the proper way. So just a minute.